Thank you for joining the Washtenaw County Road Commission's virtual construction kickoff meeting. During today's kickoff, you'll get an overview of the 2026 construction season. We'll have a few reminders followed by the Q&A portion. My name is Tiffany Oliphant, and I'm the Communications Manager for the Washtenaw County Road Commission. I'll be your meeting host today, along with our panel of experts. Joining us today is Adam Lape, Director of Operations, Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering, County Highway Engineer, and Aaron Burkholtz, Assistant Director of Engineering. The meeting audio and video is being recorded and will be posted to wcroads.org. After the presentation, you'll be asked to virtually raise your hand during the Q&A. I'll provide instructions on how to do that at that time in the presentation from either your computer, the Zoom app, or your phone. The chat feature of this meeting is turned on, and if you have questions during the presentation, feel free to ask it in the chat, and I'll address it during the Q&A portion. Okay, so now I'll turn it over to Aaron.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time this morning to attend our virtual public meeting, and also to those who may view this later at a more convenient time to understand a little bit about our overall construction and maintenance efforts for this upcoming 2026 season. I really want to highlight here work zone safety. That's where we're going to start because that's priority one, is as we perform this work, as our contractors and our own crews perform this work out on our county roads, safety is of the utmost importance. We want everyone to be injury free, and we want everyone to go home at the end of each workday. And I think we all take that for granted, how much we're blessed to be able to go home at the end of our workday. And unfortunately, these numbers, these are tragic numbers. In 2025, we had nearly 6,000 work zone crashes here in Michigan, and we had 25 fatalities. And again, promoting safety is not only the safety of the workers on the job site, but it's the safety of the motorists that are traveling through the job site. So we ask that as we perform the work this construction season, that all motorists really be attentive to traveling through that work zone, complying with the speed limit that's set in the work zone, and complying with directions that are given by the signs and by the traffic regulators, the flaggers, if you will, that are working on those job sites. Next slide. And here we've highlighted one of the road commission employees that I'm very blessed to work with. Again, I would be heartbroken if anyone here, one of my colleagues would be injured or, heaven forbid, killed while they're out in the line of duty performing their daily work. And so, again, I myself, I drive through work zones, not just during my daily work, but also in my personal travels. And it can be quite frustrating when you're in a hurry to get somewhere, but we ask that everyone slow down, that you minimize all those distractions that we all have in our vehicles now. Not only do we have smartphones now, but they're putting screens in the vehicles. And so we ask that those distractions be set aside, that everyone employ some patience and remain calm. Because again, for the most part, these construction projects, it's a relative short-term inconvenience for a long-term improvement. So we appreciate everyone being attentive to work zone safety. And I'll go ahead, Brent. I'll send it back in your direction, and you can take it from here.
Okay, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, and thanks again for meeting with us virtually. So first, we'll get started as we talk about our construction kickoff. A little bit about ourselves. So we're responsible for over 1,650 miles of county road. Over 700 miles of that are unpaved. We also manage 126 bridges and over 2,900 culverts. We also manage over 36,000 signs throughout the county. We're a contract agency for MDOT. So we maintain almost 600 miles of MDOT route. So, and how you can tell that that's an MDOT route between our jurisdiction and MDOT's jurisdiction is every numbered road within the county is under MDOT's jurisdiction. So that would be like a US 23, I-94, M14, or M17. Some of these have local names like US 12 has Michigan Ave, or M17 has Washington Ave. So now we'll kind of go into how projects are selected. We always like to start this. You can go to the next slide, Tiffany. We always like to start this with a definition. So we follow asset management practices here in Washtenaw County, and that is the ongoing process of maintaining, preserving, upgrading, and operating physical assets cost effectively based on a continuous physical inventory and condition assessment and investment to achieve established performance goals. That is a mouthful. But basically what we do is we rate all of our primary road system on an annual basis and our local paved road system every other year. So this focuses, our strategy focuses on preventative maintenance, and it's using that rating system to find the right fix at the right time in the right place. Our goal is to extend the service life of all of our roadways. You can go to the next slide. So we always like to use the example of it's like maintaining your vehicle. So if you regularly change the oil on your vehicle, that helps extend the service life of that engine, or if you rotate your tires, it extends the service life of those tires. Same thing applies to our roadway system. So if we apply preventative maintenance strategies to our roadways, it just extends the service life. So whenever we're looking at a chip seal road or performing crack seal or a mill and overlay, we're using those preventative maintenance strategies to extend that service life. So now I'll turn it back over to Aaron, and he can kind of go through our projects.
Thanks, Brent. We've got a wide variety of project scopes that we're going to undertake for this construction season. Again, some of the construction has already started. An example would be we've been working with a contractor on the construction of a roundabout in Ypsilanti Township at the intersection of Whitaker Road and Martz Road. So that actually started in the middle of March. And again, that's, I'll say, the exception and not the rule. Generally, road construction isn't going to start until a little bit later than that, I'll say mid-April. But the contractor was very much driven to want to get started on that project, and we were not going to prevent that. We appreciated the fact they wanted to get started on that job, and actually we're getting closer to wrapping that up. And so that's one project that has already started. We've already started some asphalt paving work up in Dexter Township on Hankerd Road. So again, that work is ongoing. And so the construction season has started with a bang here, is what I'll say. Again, that will continue to ramp up. We undertake a variety of types of construction during the season. Generally, that season runs from, I'll say, the middle of April, depending on how the spring is, through I'll say, end of October or maybe the middle of November. And then we start to run out of weather. So we undertake preservation. Again, preservation would be more in line with like our chip seal, our annual chip seal or seal coat program. We undertake resurfacing, asphalt resurfacing, where we go out and we mill and resurface our asphalt roads. We also will resurface unpaved roads, and Adam's going to talk a little bit about that later. We get into reconstruction, where we do a full reconstruction of a road. And that's where we can crush the road up. And basically by crushing that existing paved road up, we provide a modified base material for new asphalt to be placed on. Or it can be an even larger scope of work where we completely start over on a road. We're certainly working on some bridges this year. Brent mentioned earlier about the number of bridges we have countywide and the number of culverts that we have. And then we undertake safety projects. And safety projects would be things like roundabouts, signalizing intersections, those would fall into that safety category. Also, where we start to construct centerline corrugations along roads to promote safety and to reduce lane departures, because that's a reason that we have very serious crashes is when a motorist leaves their assigned lane. And then there are some other unique projects that we go into. So for preservation, for pavement that is in good and fair condition, so we go through an asset management process, and part of that process is PACER ratings, where we actually go out and we rate the roads. If we determine that a paved road, is in good or fair condition, we generally are using crack sealing, or we're using seal coat, that would be a chip seal and a fog seal, to continue to extend the longevity of that road. And this is an example of crack seal. You can see that you've got a crack in that asphalt surface, that top surface there. And by sealing that crack, we keep water from infiltrating into those underlying layers of the road, because particularly with asphalt pavement, it's a flexible pavement. And so when water infiltrates that, it can have some pretty severe consequences. And ultimately, that's where our potholes come from. Next slide. This is an example of our seal coat. And again, we undertake a robust program each year. Credit to our operations department, that workforce, because we actually perform this work directly, where we apply, it's called an emulsion, but basically it's commonly referred to as a tar and stone, where this would be the adhesive, the black liquid is applied to the surface of the road, and then small stones are put down on top of that. That's the seal coat. And then next slide, we come through, and this is an example of that chip seal process. The road commission performing this with direct force, and we've got the truck. You can see the truck actually is going backwards. That's kind of a neat aspect of chip seal, is we have a tanker go through. That tank truck applies the black liquid, and there's an example of that tanker truck doing its work. And then the chip spreader comes behind the tanker and puts the stones down. And then the next thing that happens is we roll those stones into place to really get some good adherence between the stones, those small stones, and the liquid, the emulsion that's applied to the road. And what that does is, it's like applying a sunscreen to your skin. It protects that asphalt from deterioration due to ultraviolet effects, and it also will seal cracks that are in that asphalt surface, small cracks. So again, we're trying to extend and promote the longevity of that good or fair asphalt surface. It's important that when we are out doing chip seal and fog seal, that you follow the directions that are given by the flaggers that are on site. And we oftentimes will employ a pilot car so that people know what route they should take. We try to maintain traffic when we're chip sealing a road, but it's very important that people follow the directions that are given, including a pilot car, so that they promote their safety, the safety of the workers, and so they avoid damage to their vehicles. The next type of construction project that we typically undertake on our county roads would be resurfacing. So this is where we go out, and again, depending on the condition of the county road, the paved county road, we will perform a mill and resurface. That's for pavement that's in fair condition. As the road continues to deteriorate, it'll get into a poor condition, and we look at more like a pulverize with a pave. So that's where we're crushing that existing road. We're blending that material, that crushed asphalt, with the underlying material to provide a modified base that we then overlay. And this is an example of an asphalt overlay. So this is a mill and fill, and you can see the milled surface in the foreground, and then you can see the asphalt paving in the background. And that's where you remove about 2 inches of the asphalt surface. And again, this would be for a road that's in fair condition. I know that road was in fair condition because you can see that milled surface. It's got a couple of cracks in it, but overall that milled surface is in very good condition. Next slide. So we also, for our unpaved roads, As many of you probably know, we have many, many hundreds of miles of unpaved county road here in Washtenaw County, and that can be a challenge. Unpaved roads can be a challenge to maintain and improve, but the way that we improve them is we improve the drainage. Drainage is crucial to promoting the longevity of roads, particularly unpaved roads, and we will put down that aggregate resurfacing. In some parts of the county, we use a limestone material, and in other parts of the county, we use more of a gravel material. There is a difference, but again, we'll refer to that commonly as a limestone haul or a gravel haul, and that's where you're putting down that new material so that we can effectively maintain it. We try to refer to them as unpaved roads and not dirt roads, because once a road degrades to the point where it's a dirt road, it's very difficult to maintain that road. You can't maintain dirt. You have to have good aggregate, good limestone, or good gravel to effectively maintain that unpaved road. So for this upcoming season, again, it's quite a robust program. We are going to asphalt resurface nearly 20 miles of road this year. We are going to, currently, we have about 1.5 miles of unpaved road improvements, so resurfacing of those unpaved roads with limestone and gravel. And then we're going to do 26 miles of chip seal, which I talked about earlier. And the way that we do this, the way that we budget for this, it's through a variety of sources. That includes federal and state fuel taxes, our countywide road millage, which we're so thankful to the voters of Washtenaw County that the voters continue to support that countywide road millage to help us improve and maintain our road, and the townships. The townships are a great partner with us. We offer an annual matching program to each of our 20 townships, and their partnership is essential for us to be able to improve and maintain our local county roads. So getting into some of the specifics, so these are our asphalt resurfacing projects. So you can see the list here. I'll just go through quickly. 8 Mile Road up near Whitmore Lake. That one is the border between Washtenaw County, that's Northfield Township, and Livingston County to the north. So we've partnered with Livingston County because they intended to work on their portion of 8 Mile Road as well as us. So we're collaborating with Livingston County, and we're going to work on that portion that's west of US 23 that's in quite an advanced state of deterioration. I'll say going west of Lemon Road. We've also got Bush Road in Sylvan Township. That one is still part of a road improvement agreement with Consumers. You may recall Consumers did a pipeline project a couple of years ago. As part of the road impacts that they had, we were able to reach an agreement with them, and they've funded various improvements. That includes Bush Road in Sylvan Township. That'll be a pulverize and pave. We've got Dixboro Road. This one is quite a challenge because of the nature of this intersection. It's Dixboro at Geddes in Ann Arbor Township. So the mill and resurface is going to extend from the big bridge that goes over the Huron River south of Geddes Road, and it's going to extend up to and through the intersection at Geddes and Dixboro. Again, it's multiple lanes. It's a lot of traffic, and so that one's going to be a real challenge based on the number of lanes and the traffic, but we're going to resurface that because it really needs it. We're also going to work on Grass Lake Road. We're going to work on Old US 12 out in Sylvan Township. We're going to be working on Workner Road in Sylvan Township. We're going to be in Holmes Road in Ypsilanti Township. That's a mill and resurface between Ford Boulevard and Michigan Avenue. We're going to work on Macon Road. That's another crush and shape. We're going to work on Ropey Road in Linden Township. We're going to work on Whitehall Road. Again, that's near Father Gabriel Richard High School in Ann Arbor Township. We're doing a mill and resurface there. And then Waterloo Road in Linden Township. We've got some mill and resurface work to do there. Cherry Hill Road. So we talked a little bit about bridges. Brent noted that we've got 126 bridges countywide that the Washtenaw County Road Commission is responsible for, that we own. One of them is Cherry Hill Road. So this existing bridge the beams and the deck on this bridge have deteriorated. The foundation of the bridge, we refer to that as the abutments that hold the beams up, those are still in very good condition. So we're going to be replacing the beams, the deck, and the railing on this bridge. And so you can see in the picture on the right here, that beam is deteriorated. You don't have to be an engineer to look at that beam and see that there's an issue with it. And so the contractor started this work last week. They had to close the road to do it. This is in proximity to the hamlet of Dixboro, or the Huron Valley Humane Society over in Superior Township. So that road will be closed. It is closed, and it'll remain closed until the work is complete. We've also got Main Street and Whitmore Lake. So we have to specify which Main Street, because there's Main Street in Dexter. There's also Main Street in Whitmore Lake. And so up in Whitmore Lake, the existing bridge, and it's a little bit of a dated reference, but I'm going to say it's just north of the old Whitmore Lake High School. That just shows my age, because the new Whitmore Lake High School has been out on Whitmore Lake Road for quite a while now. But again, that gives a sense of where this bridge is located. And the existing bridge, it owes nothing to any of us. It was built in 1920. It basically is at the end of its service life. And so this will be a full bridge replacement. That's expected to be closed in late June. Basically the work will continue thereafter. It's quite an extensive job because we are replacing the bridge in its entirety there on Main Street. Sharon Valley Road is our third bridge project for this year. This is down in Manchester Township. So this is on an unpaved local county road. The existing bridge was built in 1960. This bridge suffers from, not only is it deteriorated structurally, so it's in poor condition structurally, and it has a 20-ton weight limit, but it also functionally is obsolete. The alignment of this road is very poor. As a vehicle approaches from either direction, that motorist or that piece of farm equipment has to navigate some very tight turns. And there's a lot of vertical grade change, where this is at the bottom of two significant hills, because that's where the River Raisin is. And so, again, we need to improve this bridge, not only to have a structurally sound bridge, but to improve the alignment. And that's what's shown in this picture, is that there are going to be significant changes. You can see there where the old bridge is and where the new bridge is going to be located further south from there. And so the new bridge will be constructed with federal aid funding. So all three of the bridges that I've discussed all include federal aid funds, and therefore the design of those three bridges have to meet federal and state design requirements. Part of that is building a bridge that's of sufficient span to promote good movement of the stream through it. We call that a hydraulic design. And also, we have to provide a better alignment, an improved alignment for the motorists that are navigating that area. Next slide. So I mentioned this roundabout earlier. I mentioned that the construction season has already started. In fact, this roundabout construction started in the middle of March, and we're building a new roundabout here in Ypsilanti Township. This actually was funded with carbon reduction funds. So that's a federal aid type funding source. And basically what this will promote is better, more efficient movement of traffic here, particularly at peak hours. It also improves safety. We talk about safety a lot in regards to roundabouts, because one of the most severe crashes we have countywide is where you have a T-bone crash, where you have a more traditional four-way stop intersection. Somebody runs a stop sign, somebody runs a red traffic signal, and they broadside a vehicle coming through the intersection. Roundabouts really take that away, because everyone is entering the roundabout at a slower rate of speed, and you don't have a center of the intersection. Traffic is not in the center of the intersection. Everyone is going around the circle at an angle. Next slide. Here's one of our other roundabouts. Again, this roundabout construction has already started as well. This started earlier this month. It started back early May. And again, this has a significant traffic impact, and we did not overlook that in making the decision to pursue this project and to have to close the road to do so. So this is at the intersection of Dexter-Chelsea Road and Main Street, just outside the limits of the city of Dexter. And we collaborated with the city of Dexter on this overall project. The roundabout is kind of a highlight of the project, but the project overall includes other aspects. So here we've got the roundabout. Here we have the intersection further west at Island Lake and Dexter Pinckney Road. Here we're not building a roundabout, but we are making an improvement to add a right turn pocket for traffic coming away from the city, coming westbound, because we get a really heavy afternoon traffic movement for people that are traveling through the city of Dexter and then out towards Pinckney. And there's currently no dedicated right turn pocket there. Motorists have essentially created, I'll say, a type of right turn pocket because they drive on the shoulder so that they can get around stopped traffic that's going through the intersection on Island Lake Road. So we're going to include that right turn pocket. We're also going to put a new signal up. So that'll improve the efficiency and the movement of traffic at this intersection. Next slide. And we've got another roundabout. This is not only the year of the bridge, but it also is the year of the roundabout. Overall, we're building 4. This is another one of those roundabouts. It's Scioto Church Road and Zeeb Road here just south of our office. And this intersection will bear a great resemblance to the intersection at Zeeb and Liberty. Zeeb and Liberty was built a few years ago. That is a concrete pavement roundabout. This will also be a concrete pavement roundabout. We do have a contractor. MDOT is contracted with the contractor. The work is expected to start in the middle of June and be completed before school goes back. You can see Emerson School there in the lower right-hand corner of that picture. Again, we've been in contact with Emerson School, and so with the proximity of this project to the school, it being immediately proximity-wise, we have worked around the school year to try to get this roundabout construction completed when the kids are out for summer. Next slide. And here's the 4th of the roundabouts. This one is up in Salem and Northfield Township, up in the northeast corner of the county. And this is at Dixboro Road and Pontiac Trail. We have another roundabout just up the street from here at North Territorial and Pontiac Trail. We built that a few years ago. This intersection, again, what's going to be of great benefit here is efficiently moving traffic. There's a great movement of traffic during the AM and the PM, those peak hours when people are going to and from work. In particular, people that live up in the South Lyon area but work in Ann Arbor utilize Pontiac Trail. So we see some really high volumes during those peak hours. And again, a roundabout promotes that continuous movement of traffic. You can really get a lot of traffic through a roundabout without people having to stop. Next slide. So the road commission, I talked about bridges, and Brent touched on this earlier. We have an abundance of culverts. So we own more than 2,900 culverts throughout the county. These are not bridges. Basically, the way that we differentiate between a bridge and a culvert is the size of the structure. So a lot of culverts are round structures. They're pipes that go under the road, similar to a bridge. And the idea is they're conveying either a stream or they're conveying stormwater. And so we have a number of these that need to be replaced. We do have an annual program to inspect not only our bridges, but we also do inspect our culverts on an ongoing basis. And here's an extensive list of culverts. I do want to note here that what's been of great help in us replacing local county road culverts, and all the roads listed here are local county roads, has been the great partnership we've had with our townships and with the Water Resources Commission. Water Resources has administered a program called the Stormwater Grant Program, and so the townships have been able to realize an outside source of funding to help them partner with us to replace these type of structures, and these structures get quite large. Even though they're not bridges, they still can be in the realm of, I'll say, 10 to 15 and almost up to 20 feet. So again, a great partnership with the townships and with the Water Resources Commission to realize all the work that's listed here. One thing with culverts is we close the road. When we do the work on a culvert, we close the road. That promotes the efficiency of the work and also everyone's safety, the safety of the motorist and the safety of the crew out there doing the culvert replacement. Now we'll talk a little bit about traffic and safety. And again, we have within the engineering department here at the Road Commission, we have 3 sections. We have the permits section, we have the construction and design section, and we have the traffic and safety section. And so one of the aspects of our work that the traffic and safety section oversees is our traffic signals. This would be new signals, it'd be upgraded signals, and it'd be flashing beacons. Flashing beacons are the light that hangs over an intersection. Sometimes it's a 2-way stop control, sometimes it's a 4-way stop control, but it's that blinking light that technically is called a flashing beacon. The signal work that we perform basically is funded from a variety of sources. Again, I talked before, we have federal and state fuel taxes that come into the Road Commission. We have our Michigan transportation funds that are the largest part of our budget here at the Road Commission that are dedicated sometimes to signal projects. We've already started some signal upgrades. So at the top of this list, Parker Road and Shield Road, just up the street from Dexter High School. That traffic signal work is now complete. The contractor there started the work very early in the season, actually during the winter, and we were able to complete that. We're also making a variety of improvements that are listed here. Oftentimes, the improvements that we're making at a traffic signal may not be like replacing the traffic signal or putting up a new traffic signal. It's improving the communication and the coordination between signals. Because as we're able to improve that communication, that technology, it promotes the efficient movement of traffic. An example would be is when you think about corridors that have several signals along them, it would be like the Carpenter Road corridor in Pittsfield Township, where you've got multiple signals along there. Another example would be Huron Road in Ypsilanti Township. You've got several signals there south of I-94. As we're able to improve, as we're able to upgrade those communications between those signals, we're able to better promote the flow of traffic through that corridor. Next slide. And so one intersection we'll highlight is Pleasant Lake Road at Zeeb Road in Lodi Township. So the multi-way stop, this has always been, I'll say has always been in my time, a 2-way stop control with Zeeb Road north and south of Pleasant Lake stopping, but Pleasant Lake Road being the through road, no stop control on Pleasant Lake Road. This has now changed as of this morning. Our crews were out there, and we now have set this up as a 4-way stop control intersection. And basically what brings about that change is we talk about warrants. And warrants are basically, it's a data-driven process that guides us in making decisions where we should change the function of an intersection, for instance. And that's what drove this decision, to change this from a 2-way stop to a 4-way stop. Things that you look at when you're looking at those signal warrants or those stop control warrants is you're looking at, is there a history of crashes? You're looking at what are traffic volumes on the intersecting roads. You're looking at things like turning movements. Which direction are the cars going in? So again, want to highlight that intersection has changed significantly, and we have a lot of reminders out there at Zeeb and Pleasant Lake, a lot of reminders as motorists are approaching to drive home the point to them that is now a 4-way stop controlled intersection. Next slide. We are continually monitoring the roadway for potential safety improvements. And again, we receive information through a variety of sources. It's not only what we observe out there, it's what our township partners observe, it's what law enforcement observes. We take input from the motoring public themselves. Our constituents provide input so that we can monitor, in particular, certain intersections where we're receiving reports from a variety of sources that we need to look more closely at an intersection, for instance. We look at treatments like adding center left turn lanes. Center left turn lanes remove a turning vehicle from the flow of traffic. So if we see a prevalence for rear end crashes at an intersection because of people making a left hand turn and vehicles coming up behind them and not stopping, we look at potentially like a center left turn lane. And then we do undertake enhanced pavement markings and signage. Pavement markings and signage play a huge role in promoting safety. For anyone that's ever driven down an unpaved road or is driven down a paved road that has not yet been marked with pavement markings, that really speaks to how important pavement markings are. And we have a robust program every year. So we just on the county road side of things, we have over 6 million feet of long line pavement markings. What we refer to as long line would be in this picture, you can see there's the white edge line. You can see that there's the lane lines, we call those blips, and there's the center line that you can see adjacent to the paint truck there, the yellow line. So just those lines, we have 6 million feet countywide that need to be maintained. We also have special markings like stop bars, turn arrows, crosswalks. The green paint is actually a marking that we've used in some areas of the county to delineate a bike lane. And one of the nearby locations is at the interchange at Ann Arbor Saline Road and I-94. Ann Arbor Saline Road has the green paint on it, the EnduraBlend paint. And again, that's to draw attention for motorists that that's a bike lane. We, by the nature of the work that we do and by the nature of the weather that we have here in Michigan, we are continually wearing out the pavement markings on our roads. And so this is an ongoing program. Every year we have to invest heavily to keep those pavement markings up. So I've appreciated everyone listening to me. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Adam Lape, our Director of Operations, and he's going to talk a little bit more about road maintenance.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. So we'll talk a little about road maintenance. So road maintenance starts occurring after our engineering departments build us a road and for our crews to try to continue that road's good standing order and safe navigable way as long as we can until we have to come back and do another project to improve the segment. So for us, daily tasks, what you see here on the list, you see our crews out pothole patching, drainage work. That's really helping convey that water off the center of the roadway. We really want water to have somewhere to go, not on our roads and not sit there. And then the same thing goes for our grading, which is in the unpaved road segments that we're discussing. We try to crown that road as well. And so we use the motor graders that you see in the photo there to essentially build a crown in the road just the same way we would pave it into the road during a normal paving project. To try to get that water off the road and move that forward. So then you see through incident response, we also work ourselves into the seasonal scheduled maintenance that Tiffany's pulled up on the screen here. Dust control itself, as you see in the picture, is very important to the unpaved road segments, which most of you are probably familiar with at some point here throughout the county. Nearly 800 miles of unpaved roads, so it's very important for us to try to suppress that dust as best we can. That's typically in the summer months. So once the roads have stabilized throughout the spring, we start that dust control program. And then we move the schedule itself, the schedule itself for roadside mowing and sweeping is the same. When we talk scheduling for us, it's typically mid-April through mid-November. We really do need that road to be stable and consistent. We need the warmer temperatures for some of our materials to work. And then certainly some of those things are subject to environmental restrictions. And then off-season projects you will see occasionally, but that's usually emergent response if need be. As I kind of noted earlier, sometimes we have to respond to things that happen outside the year. An example that I used previously would be a culvert failing in the middle of the winter. Our crew would maybe perform one of those projects just to keep a road open throughout the season. Road work is certainly weather dependent, as you all know. Rain will delay paving or our seal coat projects. So both it could delay engineering projects that Aaron and Brent were talking about, and it also can delay internal projects and operations here at the road commission itself. So it is complicated to schedule work, especially from the maintenance side of things. A lot of moving parts. We have to coordinate with MDOT and potentially some of their projects they may be having that could obstruct traffic a little bit. So we try to adjust our schedule to fit with that to work through the Department of Transportation as well. Environmental considerations are very big for us. We try to work our projects around whether it be environmental restrictions they're working or environmental concerns as needs are based on the roads specific to their area. So we try to be considerate to that. Utility conflicts do come into play between engineering and our operations projects where we need utilities relocated. And then essentially all that coordination is also going on with other projects as well. So we're not closing segments that are getting worked on through a different process. And then really our impact to traffic for us, it's really important when the road is closed. As Aaron noted earlier, it's very important to us because we are likely working behind it or the road itself is not navigable. So very, very important to us. Please be mindful of that and be patient with us as we try to improve these road segments. And with that being said, talk a little bit about the communication side of things where Tiffany Oliphant's going to jump in here and touch base on some ways you can really connect with us to see some of that construction work throughout the year.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. I'm getting some questions in the chat, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But I just want to come out of the presentation really fast and show you like how to maneuver through our website so you can find these various projects and sign up to receive updates via email and that and actually just look on the website. So here on our website, you go wcroads.org. If you go to roadwork and construction, the current projects page is a drop down there. For those who have not been on our website or haven't been to one of these meetings before, I'm going to go through a quick overview here so I can open it up for Q&A. So here on our page, this actually presentation will be here once I download it. Also, if you scroll down, this map is interactive. If you click on the blue line or a red dot there, a project will come up and you'll click on the more info, and then you can get to the project page that fast. We have projects out from 27 to 28 because we're also working not just in 26, our team is working all the way in 28. So if you scroll down this page, we have project cards, and there you can find information on various projects that the presenters talked about. One is the big one that everybody's talking about. One is the Island Lake Road, Dexter Main Street. That's how you find this project page. There you can find all the information about this project, why it's important, what's going on, the closure, the detours, all of the various presentations, the video, the slides from construction to design. We have some information about roundabouts. You can subscribe also here on every project page. We have a subscription. You put your email address in, your name and your zip code. You can click on several different townships if you're interested in information on road work going on in that township. Scroll down and you can get our weekly road work schedule. I'm going to show you the weekly road work schedule in 1 second. Click on the weekly road work schedule if you're interested in receiving that. And then here are the various projects. Again, I told you, we're working all the way to 28. So we're populating this list for you to get information for 28 projects, for the 28 projects. And then at the bottom, you hit subscribe. Our weekly roadwork schedule, you go back to roadwork and construction. The weekly roadwork schedule is there. You will find all the information there on your weekly roadwork schedule. It's alphabetized if you hit the little arrows there. And then you can find out about projects and the contact information there. And also, we have a township page where you can find out information about what's happening in your township. You can click on all the various townships, and when we sign an agreement, the booklet of information when a road is closed in those townships. And now I'm going to open it up. I'm going to leave the leave the website and go back to the presentation. 1 second, and open it up for Q&A. For those who have a question, if you're viewing this meeting on the computer, you can raise your hand by clicking the reactions or participants button at the bottom of your screen. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. As the meeting host, I will unmute participants with raised hands one at a time. I will announce your username or your 4 digits of your phone number when it's your turn to speak. We're happy to answer as many questions as possible. Please be respectful of each other's time. All right. So I'm getting questions in the chat. So Lori Friedman asks, I have comments and questions regarding the roundabout being constructed at Dexter Chelsea Road. I specifically think there are a lot of safety issues surrounding this construction. Lori said that. Lori, if you have questions, I would ask that either if you want to ask your question, or you can go to the project manager. That is Kevin Dexter Chelsea. That is actually not that one. That would actually be Brent. Is that
Becky Hool.
Becky Hewell?
Yes, yeah,
Becky
she's
Hewell. I'm
the
sorry.
project manager for that.
So I would
Yep.
actually lend your question there because you didn't ask a question, you had a comment. So if you have some questions, her email address is on our website. You can feasibly ask that question, but I believe that project has wrapped up. I don't know if you want to say that,
It is,
Brent.
yeah, and I can touch a little bit on that. So we did that. That's a federal aid project that we went out and paved. We did have an issue with the ride quality, mainly for the westbound lane that we did have the contractor come back out and repair. I will note that we do plan to also have a chip seal on the same road here probably early this summer. So that was a planned project, both of those. Unfortunately, we carried over from 2025 the paving of that. So we had already planned on chip sealing it. So we finished the paving. We still have some shoulders remaining. And then we'll be following that up with to cover that pavement, like Aaron brought up earlier, the reasons for our chip seal. So that will happen earlier this summer.
Thank you. Heather asked, she wanted some information on the Dexter. She says, I feel we have not specifically touched on why Dexter roundabout was necessary. The right-hand turn lane makes sense. The right-hand turn lane makes sense on Dexter Pinckney, but many of us locals cannot wrap our heads around the roundabout. I think giving some statistics and long-term benefits would help us understand. How I did respond to Heather and say, we have done several meetings on the project page. I just showed Heather that, and she understood. And I'll obviously put that in the link in the chat, Heather, where you can see that project page. But we've addressed that in those reasons. But if you want to give a quick one, Brent, about that Dexter, the Dexter Pinckney
Sure.
and
Yeah. So
corridor
there's
project.
there's more information on our project page. We did evaluate a signalized option. There's some site distance concerns for a signal with the railroad viaduct. And we felt the best option moving forward was the roundabout. We did include kind of a left turn lane for that westbound Main Street or Island Lake to go south on Dexter Chelsea, which will help the flow of that roundabout. There will be times we do acknowledge that there's a lot of congestion through town, but that roundabout should unravel quickly. We also will be installing overheight detection, which the roundabout will help for those vehicles that are over height, particularly with the viaduct, to be able to navigate and not go through the viaduct and make their turns.
Okay. And Tim Hoffman asked, previously Grove Road in Ypsilanti Township was slated for a mill and a resurface, but I don't see it on the list anymore. Was this removed as a project for this year?
It was the very observant. We did have some funding hiccups with the new legislation. And it's a federal aid project. And so it's not that the project got canceled. The project will take place either later this fall or next year. Based on our bidding schedule, we also had to give the contractor a little bit more time to get a better price for that bid. But yeah, that project did get somewhat delayed. Right now, we're not showing that, but we will be constructing that, like I said, either later this fall or into next year.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask, does Adam or Aaron or Brent have any questions in their chat? I don't have any more.
I don't either.
I have none.
Oh, okay. Melissa, I do have one. What is the city of Dexter going to do to help the businesses now? I don't know who wants to take that.
Businesses are open for that project. Unfortunately, with this type of work, we had to do a closure. So we understand that there will be impacts. I'm not quite sure what the city of Dexter is doing, but I could certainly talk to the city, but I would follow up with them on if they have any additional plans.
Yes. She says they're struggling. When will all of this be over?
Yeah, unfortunately, this project will carry on through the summer into just the middle part of September. There's a lot of work that needs to be done for these two roundabouts,
Okay.
or for the roundabout and for the intersection. I'm sorry. We are also performing work between the two intersections as well.
Thank you. Anna asked, does WCRC know how much all of the road and bridge improvements for 2026 will cost? And how will they be funded? Go ahead.
We do, but we have a variety of fixes. And I know we have to wrap up soon because our chat with the commissioners is coming up.
Yes.
So yeah, we on our website we do have our budget, but there's a variety of funding sources, whether it's federal aid, millage, or our own MTF, and it spells it out. I don't know the exact number off the top
The
of my
total
head.
number.
Yeah.
Right.
But our budget is on the website, and you can look to see any more details on budget for each one of these projects.
And okay. One other one here. I still think more communication regarding the Dexter Chelsea issues have not been clearly explained. My info obtained through the local newspaper. Lori, I will say to you that I get that you're saying the communication regarding the Dexter Chelsea issues has not been clearly explained. Our team actually has had um, four meetings. We've gone in person. We were at the library. We have had people. We're actually at the Dexter Forum on Saturdays with our commissioner. Our managing director goes. So I'm just telling you that's where we've been. Where we've been getting this information out. We're on social media and all the platforms. I encourage you to sign up for the information. We've been doing constant interviews with the media on this too. So I just say that yes, we are out there. We've been trying to get the word out. We've sent letters to those impacted within the construction zone. So they have letters. They knew about the project a couple years ago now. And so we're constantly updating it, just so you know about how we've been getting the word out. We've been in constant contact with the city of Dexter. We've been working together to get the word out about this project. So just an FYI on that one. We encourage you to sign up for subscriptions to understand what is going on. We also had Melissa. She asked to open one lane in the roundabout. Is that an option, Brent?
That is not an option. For one, we need to protect the workers, and to expedite that work, it would just extend the length of our project if we were to do that with to allow traffic within there. And the type of work that we're doing, it requires a closure.
Okay. Heather, she says, thank you for answering all the questions about the the downtown Dexter construction. I did miss the info and the business owners, but I am not subscribed. She says she's going to subscribe now. Um, Melissa just asked, how about when they do Main Street? Melissa, Main Street is within the city of Dexter. So that would be a question for the city of Dexter about how they're going to do their construction for Main Street. Okay, we're at 55. And I believe that those are all the questions that I have. We're about to go into chat with the Road Commission and the Managing Director. So thank you. We want to say you can contact us here on our phone number is 734-761-1500. Feel free to email us at wcrc@wcroads.org. Our hours during the summer are 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. If you have, if you are a second set of eyes, I call the public that. Put in a fix-it ticket and let us know when you see a road concern. And again, we're on all social platforms under Washington All Roads. We are having a chat. We have our chats. Our hybrid board meetings are the first and third Tuesdays of the month at 1 p.m. Feel free to come and join us, or you can join us virtually, either or. We have our chat every Wednesday from noon to 12:30 via Zoom. We're on our Zoom platforms just like this. We're about to go into that. And I would like to say thank you for joining our 2026 construction season kickoff.